Obviously, he wanted to play each and every game from week 1. They didn't let him go till week 3. But he had every intention of playing each and every game this year. It's just unfortunate that it went this way. I don't know if his season's over or what. But I wish he was out there. I love playing with him. I love playing for him. He's the unquestioned leader of this football team. So are we going to miss him? Yeah. But we got all the confidence in the world in Nick. He's a phenomenal player, and we're excited to play for him.
At a time when Eagles coach Doug Peterson is trying to keep his cards close to the vest, Zach Ertz, his star tight end, is ripping the cards away and throwing them on the table. Zach, didn't you get the memo? Don't talk as if Carson Wentz isn't going to play. They got to keep the Rams guessing until Sunday night. It sure sounds like Carson Wentz isn't going to play based upon those comments from Zach Ertz. So it goes to Nick Foles. And there's a lot we can say here, Chris, and we'll jam as much as we can into the time that we have. Carson Wentz, let's start there.
Yeah.
Back problems.
Right.
The latest in an assortment of injuries for a very physical quarterback.
Yeah.
This is not good. He's 25 still. He turns 26 later this month. This is not good to start having back problems at this age.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm totally concerned, but I'm a little concerned. You're right to have those kind of issues already. Yes, you mentioned it. I mean, we've had the knee injury. He's a big man. He never gives up on a play. He takes a lot of big hits. He gets twisted and contorted a lot of different ways. He scrambles. He dives. He does all of that. And yes, to have lower back issues, which does happen with quarterbacks a lot. You see it happen with quarterbacks and baseball players. Why? Because you have to twist so much and torque your body and create those opposites between your lower half and your upper half. And we've seen a number of quarterbacks with lower back issues. I've had them myself, just because it's a life of twisting on that front leg after you throw the ball. It leads to issues. And yes, I am concerned about that, because once it does happen, it continues to pop up through life when you get stuck in little certain situations or banged up or twisted the wrong way, and then all of a sudden you're bothered by it once again. So am I going to sit here and say I'm totally concerned? No, but it's another little red flag or chink in the armor a little bit about Carson Wentz to just go, man, how long can he continue to play this style of football? And if I'm the Eagles, if there's any concern here, I do hold them out. The Eagles are in deep crap. They're not a Super Bowl team, and they might need to just chalk this up.
2 points. First of all, as you were kind of downplaying the back issue and a little twist and a little torque, we're playing B-roll of violent hits being absorbed by Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
These are not minor circumstances he finds himself in. And I really would be concerned if I were the Eagles, if I were an Eagles fan. I mean, the Eagles have to decide when they're going to pay this guy, how much they're going to pay him. Do they pay him after this season? Do they wait and see what happens with his health status? Does it create issues with Wentz, who is going to want his financial reward? So these are all things to be determined in the offseason and beyond. And they're not a Super Bowl team now, but here comes the guy who is the reigning Super Bowl MVP in Nick Foles, who gets a chance to make one last impression on the free agent market. I was listing the upcoming class of free agent quarterbacks over the weekend. I forgot about Foles because, number one, he has been out of sight and out of mind, and number two, when he played early this year, he stunk.
Yes.
So is he going to stink, or is he going to be the guy that we saw in the playoffs last year?
I would think that he was going to be more towards the stinky department, because it's not just about him, too. It's the rest of the team. The one thing I'll continue to say, the defense is not even in the same stratosphere as last year. They had one of the best run offenses in football this year. They can't run worth a damn, okay? And yes, I would err on stinky too, because of the other fact, Mike, of we know the Rams are really good, and you have to go out there across the country and play them after they played their worst game of their year. And they're going to be pissed off and mad about the way they played in Chicago, let alone that they have weapons galore, and the Eagles are not as good at rushing the passer. They have no coverage guys in the back end. So all those things lead me to believe that the Eagles were in deep crap Sunday night no matter what, whether it was Carson Wentz, Nick Foles, or Superman.
Well, that's the problem. This Eagles team just has not been anything close to what we saw last year. The magic isn't there. Everything lined up for them right last year, including in the playoffs. Look, right. I said yesterday that Nick Foles was basically the football equivalent of Slumdog Millionaire in the postseason, where every break went his way. He was in the right place at the right time. Just everything clicked and everything worked. And I'm still impressed by what he accomplished, but it feels like it was a very small, self-contained sliver of history that isn't going to be duplicated, that doesn't make him a guy who's going to go somewhere else and be a great quarterback. We saw him go somewhere else. After he had a great initial run in Philly, he went to the Rams, and it was bad. He went to the Chiefs, and he had a little opening there to take the job away from Alex Smith.
Right.
And it did not go well.
Right.
And it didn't go well earlier this year. His stats really were abysmal, even though they went 1-1 in the 2 games he started. And if I'm Nick Foles, I mean, look, I see this as an opportunity to really stake my claim for a nice contract on the open market, but I just don't think he's going to be able to do it. And maybe that's what he wants us to think, because we were saying this a year ago. I don't think he's going to be able to do it, and the next thing you know, he's holding the Lombardi Trophy.
Yeah, I hear you, but I just would be shocked if that were the case. I mean, last year, like you said, it was just a different team. They could play a different style of football. They could kind of impose their physical will on you. You know, one of the reasons Carson Wentz is hurt is because Carson Wentz has to do everything for that offense right now. I mean, who scares you on the Eagles? The Eagles don't have one guy that when the ball gets in their hand, you go, oh, gosh, he could go to the house. They don't have one guy that is at the receiver position where you go, whoa, the defense better watch out for him or he is going to tear them apart all day deep down the field. Zach Ertz is the go-to guy. We know he kind of works the middle of the field, and he's a really good football player, but that's the number one issue with Carson Wentz. I mean, I even heard on some of the radio clips that we played at the start of the 7 o'clock hour, you know, the radio people in Philly going, oh, he's holding the ball too long. Well, I watched the film of the Cowboys game. There wasn't 4 people open the whole game. He had to hold the ball or he was just going to get sacked or throw interceptions or whatever. So they're just handicapped on the offensive side of the ball right now, and I just can't imagine that Foles goes out there and is too successful.
Yeah, look, they haven't had Jay Ajayi for most of the season. He was going to be the home run hitter in the running game. He's due to become a free agent. They just got Darren Sproles back recently. He's retiring after the season.
Yeah.
Boy, Le'Veon Bell hitting the open market. I keep thinking the Jets are going to be the team that makes a run at it, but maybe the Eagles should give that some consideration as well and delay paying Carson Wentz by a year or two and explain to Wentz, we have to wait to pay you because we have to pay Le'Veon Bell for now, and maybe that is the thing that would get Wentz to say, I'm fine with waiting.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.